Hey there, folks. This is Javier here, coming to you again from the same location as last time. How are y'all doing? I'm going to be making this video to be talking about some current events that are happening today. So, as we know, that there's new things popping up every day, and I think I'm going to start doing a political commentary blog talking about this stuff. And so lately, there was this thing that said, okay, there was this, rumor that started to spread that says Democrats want to defund the police. Well, I have a new friend named Clarence Peterson, who is a Republican, but not a Trump supporting Republican. I'm getting to know a lot of those, by the way, a lot of, conservatives and, Republicans or former Republicans or, ex-GOP who are not really, on board with Trump's agenda or the agenda of Trumpism. So we shared this yesterday, and this is a commentary on that from Joe Biden, from the Biden campaign. So Clarence Peterson writes, "This is a perfect statement from the Biden campaign. Charges to defund the police are just a distraction from Trump," which is true. Biden spokesman Andrew Bates, as his criminal justice proposal made clear months ago, Vice President Biden does not believe the police should be defunded. Vice President Biden does not believe the police should be defunded. He hears and shares the deep grief and frustration of those calling for change, as we all do, as many of us do, who are showing empathy to the cause that ultimately, killed George Floyd and many others, and is driven to ensure that justice is done, that we put a stop to this terrible pain. Biden supports an urgent need for reform, including funding public schools, summer programs, and mental health substance abuse treatments, separate from the funding of policing, so the officers can focus on the job of policing. This also means funding the community policing programs that improve relations between officers and residents and provides the training that is needed to avert tragic and unjustifiable deaths. This funding would also go toward diversifying the police department so they can resemble the communities in which they serve. We also need additional funding for body-worn cameras, so he supports, body cameras on the police. I guess that's further protection, so Biden supports that. There are many police departments across the country who are seeking to realize these kinds of changes. So many police departments across the country, they support this, but haven't yet had the resources to. And the Trump administration has in fact made obtaining these resources more difficult. This is at the core of Biden's plan to bring transformative change to our criminal justice system. So if we see here, Biden has a very reasonable plan, and he supports, and his plan over here is supported by many police departments around the country. He supports, cameras on the police to, for their protection, and he supports, making changes to help them, do their job, and he does not support defunding them. So the fact is that Donald Trump is going to be pushing this idea that he's going to continue to push this idea that the Democrats are crazy and extreme and they want to now defund the police. And obviously a lot of his supporters and, particularly, they're all going to start buying it. And that's just not true. That's just not true. Of course, there are some extremists, but, there are not. They don't even have, realistic validity. Examples, like the crazy college students I saw protesting yesterday at Salem, screaming all cops are bastards, but they don't really have a voice. They they are not definitely, you know, they're definitely not, Biden's base. Biden does not support this, and as much as Trump and the Republicans are going to continue to try to push this idea, Biden does not support this. Okay. And, this is just not something that's supported by the majority of Americans, both Democrat and Republican. So this is just getting more and more ridiculous every day. Okay, so a 75-year-old man fell yesterday, and Trump commented this. So a 75-year-old man was pushed by the police or something. He was protesting. And Trump commented saying that this is what Trump said. Buffalo protester shoved by the police could be an Antifa provocator. 75-year-old Martin Guingo was pushed away after appearing to scan police communications in order to black out equipment. I watched. He fell harder than he was pushed. Was aiming at a scanner. Could be a setup? So a 75-year-old man fell yesterday. He was protesting peacefully, and apparently the cops, he ended up falling because of they pushed him over or something. And Trump, and I've already seen a lot of his supporters will start believing that this is a setup. It's not. And that's what he thinks, and that's what a lot of his supporters are going to think. They're going to start pushing this new conspiracy theory that this guy fell and was set up. Father James Martin replies, we probably know Father James Martin, good man, Catholic, but, not really liked by a lot of far right-wing Catholics, but, I respect him. And that's my opinion. Father James Martin replies to Donald Trump. Martin Guingo is a peace activist and volunteer with the Catholic Worker Movement. So in other words, the 75-year-old man that fell was a volunteer with the Catholic Worker Movement. Why spread rumors about someone who embodies the Beatitudes? In other words, this guy embodies the Beatitudes. If you know the Catholic religion, the Catholic faith, you know what the Beatitudes are. In case you've forgotten what's in the Bible, you were carrying, Jesus said, blessed are the peacemakers, not the rumor mongers. Bam. Blessed are the peacemakers, not the rumor mongers. This guy, Martin Guillermo, was a peacemaker. He was a Catholic worker. He was a peace activist. Donald Trump was a rumor monger. And, gosh. And, it's pretty much what it comes down to. They believe that this is going to be more, they believe that, this is all a conspiracy theory, and that's just not true. It's just, but they're going to believe what Donald Trump says anyway. So, that's what it is. Okay, we see another post from Clarence Peterson. Good guy, by the way. He posts actively. Tucker Carlson goes after Mitt Romney for joining protests. And by the way, Donald Trump did too, but I don't really need to get to him right now. This is usual. Tucker Carlson, a huge Trump supporter on Fox News and all that. Really a propaganda machine for Donald Trump and his base and all that. It's just really unfortunate. It's just, Fox News has become such a big thing of propaganda. And that's really where we are right now. We live in a world where we sing. Tucker Carlson refused to accept that. Let's see what he said. Tucker Carlson goes after Mitt Romney. We need to end violence, police brutality. So Tucker Carlson, the way he mocks on Fox News, Mitt just wants to make sure that Americans understand and get through their heads that Black Lives Matter, as if American didn't know that, Carlson mockingly said. But accusing your entire country of racism turns out to be a pretty small price for someone like Mitt Romney. I wonder if I can get this pulled up here. Commercials.
Just wants to make sure that Americans understand that's what implies that Black Lives Matter. As if Americans didn't know that. But accusing the entire country of racism turns out to be a pretty small price for someone like that. What I was really worried about when airing the Firehouse Laws is that someone somewhere may ask me, how much do you Mitt Romney personally agree with President Trump on sending jobs overseas working class jobs? I told you that's serious interest rate. And I was willing to invest economically. Oh, the basic part for economics. Dan doesn't want to talk about that. And that's what's actually happening. Mitt Romney is groups like Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is going to be fantastic right now. What's it going to be from Saturday with the Black Lives Matter?
So as you see here, he's pretty angry. All right. Tucker Carlson is angry, and again, he's fear-mongering the right wing. Just another reason we all got to vote in November. So Clarence Peterson writes, Tucker Carlson continues his white working-class hero shtick by attacking Mitt Romney for marching in the Black Lives Matter protests. When did Mitt Romney ever accuse the entire country of racism? This is what Clarence Peterson says. We live in a world where we're saying we should stand up to racism and police brutality is controversial. The problem with Tucker Carlson in his rant against Ben and Company is that he refuses to accept that we don't live in the economies of the 1950s anymore, and we never will. Manufacturing jobs have been falling for decades because of automation, not because of shifting jobs overseas like Trump likes to push. There are 16,000 coal miners in this U.S. country today. The economy is changing. We are not going backwards. So, when it comes to this issues like this, we need to realize that these people have been speaking out for a long time. These people have been speaking out for a very long time. And, that we need to start listening to them because they are fed up. They're angry. Like I said in my last video, they're angry. And real change needs to happen. And I'm sick of seeing, folks on the right wing, Donald Trump, Tucker Carlson, all of these people continuing to push against change, much needed change. Especially while they're declaring themselves the party of Lincoln and all that. This is not the party of Lincoln. They have no right to claim the party of Lincoln and act like this. It's disturbing. Anyway, folks, I think that's all. That should cover the recent events today. I think I made it in under 15 minutes, so hope you guys get to watch this video. Thanks a lot for watching. Tuning out. This is Javier here, tuning out.